Therapists and healing practitioners are often drawn to this work because of our own histories and emotional pain. The only way to thrive while we help others heal and to avoid burnout is to do our own healing. On this podcast, practitioners share their own vulnerable stories about their pain, trauma, healing, and growth. Relationships bring out our unhealed wounds. My guest today shares how painful relationships used to be for her and a big moment that helped her start healing. Lawanda Jackson is a licensed somatic therapist and the co-founder of Light Heart Therapy. She's passionate about creative expression, embodiment, and joy. She lives her life directing her attention and energy toward things she's naturally drawn to, where she feels an internal yes. Welcome, Lawanda. What area of your life would you like to talk about today?
Yeah, there's a big theme I have in mind that influences how I move in my own life and how I share with other people, clients or students, and that is our relationship to ourselves.
Yeah.
Like that's probably the biggest theme I can think of in terms of my own healing journey, just so impactful. And it's something that is always ongoing, but something I hold so dear.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. I mean, I'm 44 now, and during my 30s, during my 20s, one relationship after another that was just a stage for my trauma and the things that haven't been tended to be tended. It was just like a stage for all of it to show up.
Why do you think that is, Lawanda? Why do you think that our relationships can be that stage where so much that isn't healed shows itself to us?
Our intimate relationships are super special in that we get really close to people and so many expectations, implicit and explicit, come through. So many memories, that things that feel familiar to the worst moments of our lives during childhood or growing up are, those buttons get pushed in the relationships that are so close.
Yeah. So for you in your 20s and in your 30s, what would happen for you when those buttons got pushed? What did you find was going on for you?
Yeah, so in my last relationship before I'm married now, and thank goodness we met each other late enough to where, the hardest stuff kind of came up, and we dealt with it. We met when we were therapists, so thank God, Phoenix and I had so much more awareness than we both would have had when we were younger. Thank God.
How old were you when you met?
Dang, we've been together almost like 9 years or something, so kind of like mid 30s.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy saying that out loud right now. Yeah, and she's older than me. She's 8 years older. So in the last relationship before I met Phoenix, what was coming to me really strong was the parts of myself that that I hated.
Mm-hmm.
I hated the part of me that was a little girl and that needed so much.
And what was it like? How was she showing up? Did you recognize her as the little girl right away, or how did she show up for you?
I don't know if I recognized. No, I didn't like in the moment of those experiences. No, I recognized it. Like there was a moment when I decided, you know what? I'm going to be my own mom. I'm going to be my own best friend. Like, I'm going to have my back. I'm going to love myself so much. I'm going to see how much I can love myself. That was the best decision ever.
Yeah. What led you to make that decision?
I was experiencing depression, pretty moderate, not like it was hard. And in relationships, like if there was conflict, it would get really big inside of my own experience. And I didn't know how to not feel those, I didn't know how to tin my emotional experience, or I didn't even know that was what I was supposed to be doing.
And when that feeling would get really big inside of you, did it feel like it was almost a survival feeling, like that big?
I, I feel quite far away from it right now, so I have to thank God. So I just remember wanting other people to tin my emotional experience, or um, really love me the way a child would need to be loved by their parents.
Yeah.
And when I didn't have that, it would feel really hard, really like lonely, really like longing. Yeah.
And what was that quality that, like, now when you look back on it, feels like it's actually the way a child would need? Like, what is that difference between the way you want to be loved now and the way that it felt like you needed
hmm
it at that point?
Ah, that's such a good question. Now I know it's my responsibility. It's my responsibility to love myself, to take care of myself, to connect with my spirituality and what I feel like is holding me beyond that. And sure, I'm a human, I'm a woman, I'm married, and I have desires and longings that I want my part Phoenix to meet now for sure. But there's a foundation of knowing that it's my responsibility.
How did you get that sense? And then how did that become possible for you?
Part of it for sure was what I watched my mom go through in trauma. But also, I think part of it is just like my nature and my calling. And I'm really drawn to empowerment, like super, because I know what it's like to see a woman be collapsed. And so empowerment is so important to me. So even when I'm challenged, I'm like, okay, what's mine to do? Like what choices can I make? Where's my energy at? So yeah, I think of nature and nurture. It's always those two things, like.
Mm-hmm. And so there was like, it sounds like there was always this drive inside of you to kind of like make meaning and grow
Mhm.
and like figure this out and grapple.
Mhm. Yeah.
Can you talk about like connecting with your spirituality? Did that come in like as you were working on healing, or had that always been there?
Mhm. In my early 20s, I was in a master's program for spiritual psychology. That's before I even knew I wanted to be a therapist, because I actually got another master's 10 years later for counseling psychology and somatics. So it was like I was drawn to education, not just for academics or professional achievement, but it was my path, my healing path. What was your question though?
Whether the connection to spirituality came in as you were working on healing or if it had
Mhm.
been there.
Yeah, I think it was calling me really young. Like before I went to that school, like in my early 20s, it was calling me. It just was calling me. I think I needed it, and I don't know when it like hit or something like that. I don't know exactly when. I lost my mom when I was 15.
Mm.
And so I don't remember if I was aware of something broader before then. But when I went to the University of Santa Monica for spiritual psychology, that's when so much became clear that there's so much. And what's clear is that there's so much we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was the thing that was clear. Like, oh, I don't have to figure it out or know the reason why anything. I just know that it is. And there was something, it's funny I'm wearing yellow because what I would say before I went to this school was, I feel gray and I want to feel yellow. So to me, that's like, okay, there's something beyond what I'm seeing around me in my 3D world.
Mm. Did you feel gray in your relationships then? Like in your 20s, in your 30s?
um, oh, I would feel excited and I'm loved and in love and all this, and then can I say shit on this podcast?
Yes.
And then like shit would hit the fan and like all the trauma would, like a sense of desperation to maintain connection. Yeah, because I knew what loss so much. I knew what loss was, and it's not like I didn't do any healing work that well, I went to school, but before that, yeah.
Yeah. So that feeling when you fall in love or when you're getting to know someone and like feeling like, okay, now I'm going to get the kind of love that I've been waiting for.
Yeah, and of course this is not conscious.
And then what would start to happen? Like, did you notice patterns that would show up as relationships continued? Like, you know how there's perhaps different attachment styles or like things that we tend to repeat? I know that I have things that I tend to repeat, like in relationships.
Mhm. Yeah, if we, just use really plain terms, definitely the person that was more pursuing. Yeah. And needing a lot of reassurance that I was okay.
Mm-hmm. And do you think of that as like related to the little girl inside?
Absolutely. Yeah. Like, are you okay? Am I okay? Is it okay that I'm here? Like everything's okay. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. And then that dynamic can happen where, like, if one person is more pursuing, then sometimes the other person with their own trauma, their own stuff is like pulling back more.
Hmm.
And then it's like, okay, well, if you're going to go away, then I really need to pursue you.
Hmm.
And then, like, all right, well, if you're going to pursue me, then I really need to go away. Like, with that,
Yeah, but not so, the way we're talking about it is so clean and so like easy to understand. It definitely not that clear. You know, it's just like two traumatized people like arguing and fighting and not sure why and like I want to die or but not because I want to die, but because I just don't want to feel this way. This strong sense of like disconnection.
hmm,
Yeah, what stands out like when I think about my first relationship when I was like 18 or something, what stands out the most is just a sense of desperation.
yeah, that makes sense.
So
Hmm.
that's really like some base level, like survival, like am I gonna die? Like it, yeah,
Yeah.
like that kind of internal desperation, like am I gonna survive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you turn to spirit or
Hmm.
like how did you get through that? How did that start to shift for you?
It probably started to shift when I got my master's in spiritual psychology,
Mhm.
but that of course was only the beginning because I'm only in my, at that point I'm only in my 20s
Yeah.
and there's just a lot of life and a lot of self-love to come into.
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah, it's just been a journey and yeah, it's just been a journey like over like my whole adult life. But that was definitely a defining moment.
Mhm. Do you remember, like, moments when you like, or processes where you started to notice, like what you said earlier of, like, there were parts of you that you hated, or, like, in a way that makes me think, like, there were parts of you hated.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Do you remember, like, processes or moments when you started to recognize that or that started to shift?
I would say in my 20s and 30s, I was doing a lot of personal development and spiritual work and just learning and, yeah, learning
Mhm.
that I could have a different experience in life than what I'd known
Mhm.
in the past and what I saw around me.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then in my early 30s, before I went to school to become a therapist, like on purpose, because because um, I went to that program for spiritual psychology, but I had no idea I was going to become a therapist then. I was just being led. It was just like breadcrumbs. But I had a therapist, and she talked something about inner child, or
Mhm.
gave me a book resource,
Mhm.
a book title, inner child something, that's in the book title. And it was around that time when I kind of put my foot down in a way and said, you know what, I'm going to be the person.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was a huge moment. I remember, I think I was like in the car and I was like, it's me.
Hmm.
I'm going to be the person who loves me, who's my friend, who's my lover, who's my mom. Me.
Mhm. Mhm.
Hmm.
Was that like, what did you feel? Did you feel relief? Was it scary? Was it, like, kinda things clicking into place? Like, what do you remember that feeling like?
It was like a light bulb moment. It was like, damn it, it's me. It
Mm.
was like, yeah,
Yeah.
it was like putting your foot down in a loving way. It was like that.
Mhm.
And of course, that takes practice.
Yeah.
So you set your intention, but then you practice, where none of us have to be perfect.
Mhm.
Our intentions matter,
Yeah.
not that we're perfect. So, yeah, it's just my intention and commitment to myself.
We're gonna get right back to the episode. I love helping people heal and release their trauma. As a trauma survivor myself, I know that working with the right person at the right time can be life-changing. I might be a good fit for you if you've tried more traditional therapy and maybe you've already got a lot of understanding of what's wrong and you'd like to actually heal and release your trauma. Check out how to work with me or attend one of my workshops by going to anniezam.com. Lawanda, what would you say to people who are right now struggling with figuring out how to love themselves more?
Yeah, I can speak to that because it really does influence how I am with other people.
Mm.
And people don't always like to hear this word because it feels cheesy or not real. But for me, it's really deep and profound. Compassion,
Mhm.
self compassion. And so the way I know how to support other people in getting to a place of self compassion is self awareness and self understanding first.
Mhm.
Like to really bring forward, okay, what you've been through and the version of you that had to cope with that, like your younger child that us therapists, we know the younger child that had to develop these ways to survive.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so not just knowing that, but really feeling that, like, oh, I was 5 years old and nobody was home, for
Mhm.
example.
Yeah.
And so I learned how to do everything by myself, for
Mhm.
example.
Yeah.
And to really, like, really feel it from our hearts and bellies, not just cognitively. Because a lot of times we know our stories cognitively
Yes.
and we just say them like they're nothing.
Yeah.
We're disconnected from it, so we don't really go anywhere with it.
Oof. That feels so big, like to just have a narrative of a story, even if it's a very upsetting story, like a
Mhm.
really sad story or a really like
Mhm.
important story. And if it's just like it becomes a narrative, but like that part of us that went through it doesn't actually feel very witnessed or very like can still feel alone
Yeah.
and kind of trapped in that story as it gets told, maybe even over and over again.
Right. Yeah, so that's so important that we really understand ourselves and our experiences from that 5-year-old's perspective. Yeah, to really just really feel like, oh, my 5-year-old did that, had to do that. Like she had to.
Hmm.
She had to. Thank God she did what she did
Hmm.
because she survived. Thank God.
Hmm.
Like really just tapping into that and making lots of space for that because it's not like the point of this is not to stay there. It's not for self pity. It's not to live a life where all our life we feel like we're a victim. It's not. But we meet ourselves where we are right here, right now. And where we are right here, right now is felt in our bodies. And when we can really meet ourselves and connect to the younger one that has developed those patterns, then like something else is possible.
Hmm. And what did you notice when you were able to do that with your younger selves? Like,
hmm
what did you notice shifted or was possible?
I can use all these words now
Mm.
in retrospect, but in the midst of it, it's just finding something within you where you can be kind to yourself.
Mhm. Did you have other parts that resisted that? Like you were just saying, like, some people listening might be feeling like it's cheesy or they're not ready for, like, a lot of times people are not ready for self-compassion. Did you have any parts of you that were blocking that or feeling like it was uncomfortable?
That doesn't stand out for
Mhm,
me because I
mhm.
think this just was like part of my path and my gift,
Yeah.
and I just knew I just had really hard experiences doing other things. So I was gonna try something different now.
Yes.
hmm
Yes.
And so I guess what can support other people is we can is the cognitive education too. Like you've
Mhm,
tried these ways,
mhm,
you've tried beating yourself up to be a better partner, for example, and that hasn't worked. So what if we try something different?
mhm,
And also, some people might be scared that that's pitying and that I'm just going to be stuck, and I see it as it's such a paradox because when we suppress things, we suppress our internal experience. And when we hate parts of ourselves, it blows up. Like shit hits the fan, like it
mhm,
blows up. And so I share things like that, and that usually makes sense for people. I really do see a lot of the more light we can shed on a challenge, the less power it has.
mhm,
I use a metaphor of like being in the closet.
mhm,
When you're in the closet with anything,
mm.
when it's in secret, it can become dysfunctional or dangerous. When it's hidden,
Yeah.
that makes sense to people right away, usually.
Yeah, just intuitively, you
hmm
can feel that. Yeah.
Yeah, and the very personal example that I make from my own experience is that when I didn't like my younger child, this little girl was the one running the show then.
Mm.
And that the more I started to love myself in the younger parts, then the more that like I get to enjoy my childlike, joyous, creative energy, but the my woman, my wisdom is guiding my life, is in the driver's seat.
Hmm.
And so I use that personal example because that's really like my biggest personal example.
It's beautiful. What did you not like about her before?
Um, so needy. You know
Needy.
how it's not good to be needy, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Even though, yeah, like, it's like now that you love her, it's like that feeling of, well, I'll just use myself as an example instead, like, well, thank God she knew she had needs, right? Like, and thank God
Mhm.
she was not gonna stop trying to get them met,
Mhm.
right? Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, and thank God that something in me knows how to care for that part too.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, when you were in the car that time and then you kinda, like, put your foot down and you were like, "I'm gonna be the one, I'm gonna be there for me." This might be a weird question, but, like, did you sense, those parts of you hearing it as well? Like,
Yeah, probably so. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
I had a car situation once where, I was driving and I had kind of recently gotten a lot of connection with the younger part of me, and then, as I was driving along, I started having some sort of, doubting thoughts about this process, like some skeptical thoughts coming up about
Mm.
the process of, like,
Mm.
getting to know my younger self, something like that.
Mhm.
Nothing huge, just, like, driving along and being like, "Ah, is this r blah, 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 blah," and then I felt the little girl next to me. This isn't usually how it is for me, like, it's usually more, I don't usually have, like, a visual person show up for me. It's
Wow,
usually more
yeah.
like a just a feeling in my body, but this time,
Mhm.
it was, um, like, I could very clearly imagine this little girl next to me, and she turned to me as I was driving and just looked at me with, like, "Not again." Like,
Wow.
you're gonna let me in this time, like, "You're gonna take care of me this time." And I was just
Wow.
like, "Oh my gosh, I got it. I got it. Message received.
Wow.
Assignment understood." Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
What is it about the car? Maybe there's something about that, like,
I know, you're stuck in there. It's like you're gonna listen to me, you can't leave.
yeah, yeah. Any other parts that, like, when you were saying, like, that there were parts of you that you used to hate, like, any other parts that you remember a big shift around?
I'm laughing because I'm in the midst of another growing thing,
Mhm.
like it's ongoing. I
Yeah.
tell my clients and students all the time is that none of us have arrived.
Yeah.
We get to live and grow, and this is what we're doing. So when I was like early 20s again, and it comes full circle to
Mhm.
now. So I started a business called Heart Centered Movement
Mhm.
in my early 20s. So something in me was always drawn. I'm like, there's something with movement.
Mhm.
There's something, I don't have any language for it. I definitely didn't know the word somatic or anything like that. But I'm like, what is this? And I'd be in a room full of people moving in their joy, not to look good or anything, but it's like that kind of heartfelt, I have a body and I'm moving it.
Mhm.
And I would be so touched by it, like so touched to tears, like in my bones, like if something was coming over me.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And that I still have that. It's something that has never gone away. It won't go away. So I created this business called Heart Center Movement, and I was doing movement classes that were meant to be authentically expressive and healing, but I didn't have a lot of language or cognitive understanding about any of it.
Yeah.
So I would create these events, and one of the last one I created, I didn't invite anybody. Not really. Like
Mm.
I didn't invite anybody, kind of like self-sabotage. Like I kind of like secretly not invited anybody.
Yes.
And I had flyers. I rented out studio space. It's
You didn't invite anybody.
not really. I
Yeah.
don't know if I like kind of invited one person, but no.
Yeah.
And so in that moment, I told myself that I was never going to do this again, that I was never going to put myself out there again. And yeah, but this calling to share healing and movement never went away.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it just, even though I kind of wanted it to go away because it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's not mainstream understanding, or it's not a perfect, like what is that? You
Yeah.
know, what? And so I wanted it to go away, and I had various office jobs, and at the end of it all I was depressed.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And then I went to school for somatic psychology, and that's getting me more education about what I'm feeling, more understanding, and then years of just growing and maturing just in general. Yeah, but so the thing I'm wanting to express here is that when something is on our heart so much and it's like our soul path, it never goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so accepting that and embracing it is a journey that I'm very much on right now. And I am in more acceptance and embracing and giving myself more permission to
Mm-hmm.
do that as time goes on. And really, I'm focused on that right now.
Mm. Like you said, there's been so much growing, there's been so much learning since then. But like when you go back to that memory of what you had created back then, what do you see? Like, what do you like? Are you amazed at that young version of yourself for
Oh,
doing that?
yeah. I'm like, wow, something in you never gave up.
Yeah.
hmm And like, oh, this is like, if I would read a journal entry from 10 or 20 years ago, I'm like, oh, you're still the same. Like there are threads here.
Yeah. Beautiful. So for someone who's listening and is like having a hard time grabbing onto self-compassion and like entering into it, is there anything that you think kind of like worked for you as you were newer to it that you want to suggest trying?
So if we see a little kid who fell and scraped their knee, how would we be with them? So imagine that it's a kid that you love that's not you,
Mm-hmm.
and how you would be with them
Hmm.
when they needed support.
Hmm.
So that's your like idea of what that would be like.
Hmm.
And with moms, it's really cool to do with this with moms, because it's like, what, when your kid cries, or what do you want for your kid?
Hmm.
You know, how are you with your kid when they're having a hard time? And that really helps
Yeah.
people, because then you can just get the vibe of what that even means. It's not cognitive, right? It's like heartfelt, it's in your belly.
Hmm.
You want to reach out and grab somebody, you want to just scoop somebody up,
Yeah.
you know? And so, like, you deserve to be scooped up too.
Hmm. What's it been like for you finding the right groups, the right practitioners where you really found healing?
Yeah, I think for a long time, I, even now, I don't trust or expect people to take care of me better than I'm going to take care of myself,
Hmm.
because I know I'm going to take care of myself really well.
Hmm.
And so I can be really particular who I, you know, go to for support. But also, I trust myself. I trust my intuition with people.
Mm.
That's important.
Yeah.
I highly recommend everybody to trust themselves, to tap into like their yes or no, because people know more than they think. They just
Mhm.
we just learn to disregard our knowing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like, no, this is no. Like if our
Yeah.
voice goes up like that.
Right, right. Oh, maybe it'll work. Yeah, no. That's not your person.
Yeah. That's amazing. Anything I didn't ask that you want to make sure to share?
Just that you don't have to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Just know what your intentions are and practice them.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit at a time. Just practice. Practice one thing, like you notice you're being mean to yourself. Well, practice noticing when you're feeling good about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So practice and noticing what's good about you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much,
You're
Lawanda.
welcome.
Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Learn more from Lawanda at lighthearttherapy.com. I want to thank Ames Palms for editing this podcast. If you found this episode supportive, please do a couple of things. Share it with your favorite therapist or healer. That is absolutely the most important way we reach more people. And if you haven't already, please hit follow and give us 5 stars. That is so helpful to this podcast. And thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time.